All right, this week we've got tax deeds, we've got lawsuits, we've got anti-Semitism. How's it going, y'all? Aiden Anderson here with the Moscow Minutes. Now, is life in Latah County really as interesting as I just made it sound? Let's look at the details. With the mayor absent, new council president Julia Parker led the Monday night city council meeting. This meeting kicked off with a series of public comments, including a photo op with Tim Thompson, the local Rotary Club president, and Amanda Argona of city staff, as well as a request from Tim Park for the city to make efforts to make the yard waste transfer station safer and more user-friendly. The highlight of the meeting, however, had to be this comment from William of Shaggett's Bagels. Let's go to the clip.
Hi, y'all. So, good evening, council members. My name is William. I am. Oh, that's great. Is that better?
Yep. Much.
All right, let's get close to it. All right. Good evening, council members. My name is William, and I own Shaggett's Bagels, one of the very few Jewish family-owned businesses on the Palouse here. Over the holiday, I decided to put together Hanukkah goodie bags for Jewish kids and friends of Jewish kids in our community. Within 1 hour of publicizing the effort, I was flooded with responses not from self-identified white supremacists, but from people who actually claim to share my liberal values. Let me read you just a few of their words. Go ahead and keep all of those. Why even make this post knowing that genocide they're perpetuating? Nobody trying to see that crap. Be topical. Only one genocide going on right now. Disgusting to offer up these cookies when her kin are offering up 22 threes to Palestinian kids' skulls. Also, I wear that badge of anti-Semite with honor because you haven't been called an anti-Semite by now for supporting this genocide. Then you're naive at best and a rat at worst. Good for you. I'm guessing the responses from the alt-right and conservative friends is because they're generally more down with genocide. It doesn't sound like you're in it does sound like you're in La La Land, but who isn't? Happy holidays. How is it anti-Semitic to post emojis of a Palestinian flag after, I posted things about Hanukkah bags, which have nothing to do with the war in Gaza? Council members, these kind of attacks aren't just noise. The hatred is real. It has faces and names and is targeted squarely at Jewish people like me. What frightens me most is that it's coming from people who identify as liberals, my supposed allies. Let's be frank, a white supremacist might kill me for being Jewish, but people with these views can drag out pain for years on end trying to publicize shame and isolate me in my own community. It's been over 1.5 years since October 7th, and it hasn't stopped. This harassment is exactly why, for a long time now, I have been urging you to adopt the IRA, working definition of anti-Semitism. I won't repeat the entire definition. Many of you know it because I've shared it before. But let me emphasize that IRA is not about shutting down debate. It is about giving local governments, institutions, and community members clear guidance on what anti-Semitism looks like in real life, especially when it disguises itself as political commentary or feigned concern for human rights. Our community is vibrant and diverse. Many of us are passionate about social justice, but these messages blaming local Jewish family for global events, reveling in the term anti-Semite, and singling out Jewish kids' holiday treats cross every possible line of decency. There is a frightening escalation taking place, and if we don't take a firm stance now, I fear it will only grow worse because it is growing worse. I am begging you on my knees, if I have to help protect the Jewish community here. We need to be protected by laws and education. It's not my responsibility, it's yours. We have a phrase here in Hebrew called tikkun olam. It means fix the broken world. Our community is broken, and you guys need to fix it. Every morning, every Jew I know wakes up and sings or says a phrase, Vehata l'reha kamoka. It means love your neighbor as yourself.
Okay, William, your time is about up here.
Okay.
So if you could wrap it
Can I
up.
close real fast one sentence? Okay. I'm begging you. Okay. Yep. No, that was it. Sorry. And if I may approach you guys, I have a little present for you guys, if that's all right, for the members. And I hope you will wear these. So recently there were 3 hostages released. I have it on good standing that a lot of these women were repeatedly sexually assaulted
Okay, thank
over and
you,
over
William.
again.
You can also give them to Lori for her to distribute. I appreciate that. Thanks, Lori. our clerk.
Five of you, and if anyone wants more, I will courtesy there.
Thank you, William.
Thank you, William.
Thanks, William.
This is not the first time William has brought this sort of issue before the City Council during public comment time. Only time will tell if his concerns will be addressed and if the city will adopt his requested statements. City Attorney Mia Batista presented the only action item on the city's agenda this week. That item? A resolution for the Moscow City Attorney to submit a claim on behalf of the city for the payment card interchange fee settlement. Now what's that? Back in 2005, 1,200 or so merchants brought a class action suit against Visa, MasterCard, and their associated banks for violating antitrust laws related to interchange fees. 15 years later, a settlement agreement was reached, with Visa and MasterCard paying out a whopping $5.54 billion to the merchants affected. Bautista explained that, as an entity that accepted Visa debit and credit cards between 2004 and 2019, the City of Moscow qualifies for a settlement payment. If the City Council were to approve it, Bautista, as the city attorney, would submit their claim, and the class action administrator would take some time to calculate how much the city will get, which will be a lengthy process but not take up much of the city's time. It's then just a matter of waiting to see what the payout will be. As such, the council voted to approve the resolution unanimously. The county commissioners dealt with a substantial number of items this week, mostly having to do with taxpayer adjustments and property tax exemptions. The variety of items on display meant that the new commissioners, Jason Stukes and Tony Johnson, got a pretty wide view of the sorts of things that the county regularly deals with. One less common item that appeared before the commissioners this week was a tax deed property hearing. This happens when the ownership of a given property is completely unaccounted for, both in record and in taxes. At this point, if no owners come forth, the county acquires the property via the tax deed process and prepares it to be sold at a future tax deed auction. In this case, the property in question is a roughly 2-acre plot which was last owned by Edith A. Jones, who has since passed away. With no heirs to be found and taxes left unpaid, the county is interested in acquiring it via tax deed. The Idaho Transportation Department did reach out to the county, expressing interest in acquiring it from them. As for the process explained by the county treasurer B.J. Swanson, the county will acquire the property and ITD will be able to bid on it at the next tax deed auction. This course of action was approved unanimously by the commissioners. The commissioners also held their regular monthly meeting with the department heads and elected officials this week. The main highlight from that, of course, was the new commissioners being able to introduce themselves to the rest of county leadership that they had not yet gotten a chance to visit with. Jason Stukes stated that he hopes to have an open-door policy with county staff to ensure that they, as commissioners, are being as helpful as possible, as well as wanting to address billing times to ensure that the county pays minimal late fees. Tony Johnson says that he hopes to visit and job shadow each of the county departments in the coming weeks. The commissioners, the mayor, and at least one member of city council will be out of town next week to visit the Idaho Associations of Counties and Cities, respectively. There they will sift through state legislative issues related to local governments and present their requests and concerns to the representatives at the State House. We sadly won't be following them down to Boise, but in the meantime there's plenty of other things happening locally that we'll be sure to share with you. As always, we'll have the relevant links posted with this video, and if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm Aiden Anderson with the Moscow Minutes. We'll see you next time.